The Wellbeing Café Project Loughborough Friday Creatives Project. The Wellbeing Café Project is a registered charity based in Loughborough in the East Midlands that has been delivering monthly evening wellbeing cafes for adults who experience mental health problems in the Charnwood area since October 2015. The project now provides a wide variety of activities and support. The Wellbeing Café Project provides local people with a safe, supportive and welcoming place to go when other support services may be closed and people can self-refer themselves. The project's aim is to support people's recovery and resilience to mental health issues and encourage a peer support network that will enable them to feel part of the community again. The creative activities started as part of the monthly Friday evening social sessions and then were rolled out to sessions during the week as part of the wider cafe sessions. They were provided initially by myself, Jemma Bagley, as part of an offer through my wellbeing work with my then employers, Charnwood Arts. My colleague Sarah Green also devised and ran creative activities. These included small textiles projects, mosaics, collage, greetings card making and notebook making. The Friday Creatives Group has been running since September 2019, initially meeting on a Friday afternoon to work on various creative projects. This was made possible via a grant and the fact that we had moved our fundraising shop, the Emporium, across the road on Ward's End in Loughborough and now had a small activity room upstairs. This enabled us to offer the sessions to a group of 8 participants per session. The first sessions were based around weaving, printmaking, collage and drawing. The demographic of the group was very mixed, with ages ranging from early 20s to late 60s, and about a quarter of the group were male. Some support workers also accompanied their clients. In January 2020, we did a project that we called Little Clouds of Positivity. This was pre-COVID, obviously, and what we had in mind was the fact that a lot of people find January and February in particular a very difficult time for their mental health, and we wanted to engage with passers-by in a creative and uplifting way by hanging the clouds in the shop window. The group designed, stitched and printed little clouds with rainbow ribbons with positive messages, stuffed with fabric scraps, which we hung in the window of the Emporium in Loughborough Town Centre. This was the first collaborative window display project that the group did. It was textiles based, and the first time I really encouraged the group to stitch materials together, resisting the pleas to use glue. A majority of the group were nervous about stitching. Many of them hadn't sewn for years, probably since school. In this environment, I was able to coax individuals along, working on a one-to-one basis and encouraging people to help one another with needle threading, etc. Group members were also encouraged to take kits home with them and continue their projects at home between sessions. In February 2020, we added a morning session due to demand, and in March, the group were working on a 2D into 3D project. They had sketched still life snapshot views through square viewfinders and were busy translating these into stitched applique textiles pieces. Then, lockdown. The Friday Creatives had their last face-to-face session on Friday the 20th of March 2020. The Wellbeing Café directors decided that we would immediately set up a Facebook group, Wellbeing Café Creatives, and design and distribute craft packs to cafe members to keep them creatively active. The first kit was rainbow-based and included a layered felt rainbow to stitch, a large cardboard rainbow to collage for their window, and a set of rainbow-shaped paper collage pieces to make a greetings card to send to a friend, and yes, we did include a stamp as well. The kits were made up by myself and by my daughter and put into a jiffy bag, dated for quarantining, then either posted out or hand-delivered. Over the next few months, I distributed over 300 craft kits thanks to several small grants that we applied for as they became available through local COVID support initiatives. Initially, we targeted local people in contact with our service, but by summer 2020, we were working with other local partners and the community mental health team to identify individuals that were struggling and would benefit from a kit. These partners included Positive Minds, which are a group supporting South Asian women, Turning Point, Enrich, which is a group who support adults with a disability, Exerio, a local Loughborough-based homeless charity, and Local People, who use Fearon Hall, which is a local community centre. New shoots. In May 2020, I started a weekly Zoom session for Friday Creatives members that were receiving the kits and were members of the Facebook group, but were missing being part of an actual face-to-face group. Initially, I encouraged people to share the things that they had made from the kits and anything else that they were working on. We soon decided that we wanted to do a group project. We devised the New Shoots project, basing the theme on Art Nouveau design and the hope that the COVID situation would soon ease. I made up new kits with an idea sheet and examples of Art Nouveau floral designs, felt fabric pieces cut to size for the backgrounds, and other fabrics, trims, beads, threads, wool, and an embroidery needle. We decided to limit the colour palette, so when the work was displayed together, it looked coherent. Purples, greens, yellows, orange, grey, white, and creams were chosen. I stitched some examples and posted the photos on the Facebook group and included photos on the handout. We worked on the project for several weeks, discussing it at our weekly Zoom sessions and on the Facebook group. Individuals messaged me if they needed one-to-one support or more materials. I had a fixed deadline for people to complete their work. The finished work was then delivered to the shop, or I collected it. Originally, we had conceived that the pieces would be joined together as bunting, but I took the decision to stitch the individual pieces onto a voile panel, the finished piece being more like a banner, suggesting solidarity and unity. 9 participants completed the work for the window display. Here are some of the individual pieces. The vine leaf piece on the left was stitched by Scott. His confidence with stitching was really low when he started, but with encouragement and a little online tuition and support from his peers, he produced this accomplished piece. Other participants used some machine stitch skills, applique, and added found objects, buttons, etc. that they already had at home. And here is the finished piece. A close-up on the left, on the right a photo of the panel ready to hang, and finally in the middle the panel installed in the Emporium window alongside an information board and half a giant's painted donut, because we also sell donuts as well. The New Shoots project became the model for the following window projects. The next project was a summer window entitled We Do Like to Be Beside the Seaside. The irony being, of course, that most people were unable to get to the seaside for summer 2020. The seaside kit included a keyring making activity sheet as well. 11 participants submitted work for the window, and several other members made themselves a marine-themed keyring from instructions designed by Sarah Green. The mask project was very much co-produced. The group decided that they wanted to comment on how we were all wearing masks. This project was inspired by Venetian masks, glamorous nights out, the environment, being in an alien situation. The fact that masks can look scary, so one participant designed a friendly-looking visor. One participant's message was just love. We were able to meet in small numbers outside at this point, so we took advantage of this, although I still ran the Zoom session for those people who couldn't make it out. A Christmas carousel. The 4th project was a double brief. Firstly, it marked the upcoming 800th year of Loughborough Fair, and to mark the fact that it wouldn't be taking place as usual in November 2020. The group all chose an animal to add to the gallopers. We had the traditional horses, a dolphin, a deer, a peacock and a very gorgeous snail. The pieces were about 50-50 textiles and drawing and collage. Bells. Secondly, we designed an activity for our first Take One, Make One project craft kit. The felt fabric bell decoration kit was developed by group members to be sold to raise funds for the project. We were able at this point to run face-to-face sessions with up to 3 participants at a time in our shop area. I ran 2 sessions a day with the tables arranged to be COVID safe, and everyone was given a freezer bag with materials in, etc. The participants took home the bag to finish off their projects. We managed to produce around 30 stitched bells for our bespoke wooden block tree for the local Christmas tree festival, and we sold 20 bell making kits, some which were gifted in a pay it forward way to group members and to other people as a gift at Christmas time. We love. For the Valentine's Day window, the group all made individual pieces again in the same format as the New Shoots project, exploring the things that they loved with an emphasis on self-care. Many chose a nature theme and one their love of gaming. The group also co-designed and test-made Valentine's keyring making kits, which again were sold in the online shop, with some being gifted to local people. The kit contained materials to make 2 keyrings. The Friday Creatives group have now completed 7 window display projects. 5 of them you have seen during this presentation. This rolling project has provided structure and stability for group members. The rhythm of deciding what to do next, working through ideas, confidence wobbles, logistical issues and celebrating the results have kept the group together. Even though we are a part of the making process, the results are curated together and displayed for everyone to see in the shop window. We have gained new members along the way, and many more people have received a kit and made things to keep for themselves or have interacted with the projects via the Facebook group. The reactions from passers-by and customers has been overwhelmingly positive too, with the local council's Love Loughborough team citing it as being a little gem of a project in the Wards End area of town. We also won a highly commended award and praise from our local MP for our Christmas window. A comment shared to the group by Natalie about how she feels when taking part in the group projects and the 2 pieces that she has made for the Mental Health Awareness Week's Nature project you can see on this slide. Natalie says, "You know how we've been doing journals, etc. Well, I found that doing these projects has taken me back to my school days when I was doing my GCSE textiles. I loved every minute of it back then. Even if I was up till 4 a.m. on a school night finishing the project, it's like déjà vu. At school we were taught to make a journal, document everything we were doing step by step. Every idea, so they can see the process we went through from step 1 to the final product. I found myself automatically doing this with these projects, from the sheet we get with the instructions to jotting down ideas on paper and taking photos of the process step by step. It's made me youthful again." Nature. Our latest project is a tie-in with Mental Health Awareness Week, which also of course coincides with our Stitching Together study day. I've been able to send out 25 kits with embroidery hoops, fabric, threads and a needle. We also have selected some nature-themed haiku from our Isolation Facebook group as inspiration. The display will have been installed by the 13th of May, and I look forward to chatting to you with some group members about this project and the Friday Creatives project as a whole. Thank you, Jemma Bagley.